Base is Norfolk, Virginia. Ships you'll see here at the Naval Base can all be deployed when they're ready after some training. Typical deployment for a surface ship is 6 months, maybe longer depending on what's going on around the world. These ships on the left side, part of the 3rd Fleet. The United States Navy divides these ships into fleets around the world by areas of responsibility. The 3rd Fleet operates in the Eastern Pacific Ocean. About 1/3 of the ships of the 3rd Fleet are home ported here in San Diego. That's about 50 ships, give or take a few. On any particular day, there may be more or fewer ships in port based on their individual training, operational, and maintenance schedules. These ships can operate independently. They can operate in groups of ships, like a carrier strike group, or an amphibious ready group, or a surface action group. Largest ships here at the Naval Base carry and deploy United States Marines. The United States Marine Corps is part of the Department of the Navy. Larger ships that carry Marines have a full-length flight deck. They look like a small aircraft carrier, 840 feet long. They're called amphibious assault ships. Typically carry up to 1,800 United States Marines. Can deploy from those ships by air, off the flight deck, or out the stern gate of the ship. It opens like the tailgate of a pickup truck. Other large gray ships with 2 cone-like projections out the top, the mast of the ship in those cones, they're called amphibious transport docks. They carry up to 800 Marines. A 3rd type ship, slightly smaller at 610 feet long, called a dock landing ship, carries 400 Marines. The dock landing ships carry fewer troops but more cargo and vehicles. One of each of those 3 ships I just mentioned operating together carries a fighting force of 3,000 Marines, known as a Marine Expeditionary Unit. And those ships not only carry the troops, but all their weapons, ammunition, supplies, land, air, and water transportation. Those ships carrying 3,000 Marines, escorted by cruisers, destroyers, and attack submarines. The entire group of ships is called an amphibious ready group. Typically, there's an amphibious ready group deployed somewhere around the world at all times. If they're not involved in combat, they are training. Maybe training with our allies somewhere around the world. The United States Marine Corps is a very mobile and quick-moving military force. Cruisers and destroyers in the Navy have the Aegis weapon system. They carry guided missiles as primary weapons. Carry this Tomahawk cruise missile, can be used for land attack targets. Carry standard anti-air missiles, evolved sea-sparrow anti-ship missiles, anti-submarine weapons as well. Cruisers are named for battle sites in American history. Destroyers named for heroes of the Navy and Marine Corps. Littoral combat ships are the ships that have 3 hulls, which will be going by. They're called trimarans for 3 hulls. They're designed for coastal patrol. They can go fast, 40 knots. They can operate in water less than 20 feet deep. Pushed along through the water by 4 water jets hooked to their gas turbine or diesel engines. Littoral waters or coastal waters, littoral combat ships, fairly simple ships, operate a crew of less than 100 people. Can be used for coastal patrol, operations like anti-piracy, and fast escort duties. One electric destroyer in port today, USS Michael Mansour, way ahead of us here on the left, is one of the 3 Zumwalt-class destroyers built at Bath Iron Works in Maine. An electric ship powered by 4 electric generators turned by small diesel engines. Electricity goes to electric motors for propulsion. Weapon systems of the future may include direct energy or laser weapons. Ahead to the left, the lighter gray ship, looks like a giant gray wedge, 600 feet long, is USS Michael Mansour, all-electric destroyer named for Navy SEAL Michael Mansour, died in Rabat, Iraq in 2006, Medal of Honor recipient. That ship's weapon systems are still under development. Captain Charles is going to turn his back toward the bridge here. We're going to talk about these ships individually as we pass them. Each ship has a number painted near the bow. That's a pointy end. That number is associated with the class of ships. You may see two ships with the same number, but they're different types of ships. All the ships have a title. USS stands for United States Ship, commissioned by Congress to protect the United States. Other ships we'll see along the way have the title United States Naval Ship, or USNS. Those ships are not commissioned ships in the Navy. They do not have weapon systems. They're supply and support ships operated by civilian crews for the most part. An example would be the hospital ship we passed, United States Naval Hospital Ship Mercy. As we make the turn out ahead of us, the last pier out there, National Cities, 24th Street Marine Terminal. Offload foreign cars, some ships on that pier. Last ships out to the right belong to Pasha Hawaiian Transportation Lines. They operate a fleet of ships that move cargo and vehicles from the west coast to and from the Hawaiian Islands. There's a shipyard right here to the right with one big floating dry dock. That's USA San Diego. Also builds the trimarans, the all aluminum ships you'll see on the right side. Right in front of us is Pier 13. Two big ships here carry Marines. The one on the right, USS Tripoli. It's a Marine Corps aircraft carrier. Should not carry additional troops. She's operated by a Navy crew, but all the aviation units on that ship are dedicated to Marine Corps aviation operations. Off Tripoli, they fly the F-35B Lightning, the CH-53 Super Stallion helicopters, AH-1 Viper, UH-1 Venom helicopters, and the MV-22 Osprey tilt rotor aircraft. This side of the pier, the other ship looks similar. It's an amphibious it's an amphibious assault ship, USS Boxer. On the right side, Boxer carries 1,800 United States Marines. The Marine Corps operates aircraft off that flight deck, but there's more room inside the ship for troops. Stern gate of the ship opens, landing craft come out the back. Here at Pier 12 on the right side, and how can I tell it's Pier 12? Well, there's a sign.